No matter how much information comes out, no matter how many facts are disproven, no matter how many facts are not given, people still feel the need to lie. Just for what? Views. And why would they lie? Unknown. In this particular one, I'm pretty sure the voice is AI, but you know AI is getting a whole lot better now. This is saying that what Twitch knew before or found out before his death and Diddy's secret network exposed. Now, I'm curious to see what exactly network they're talking about and why this network on the part of the prosecution wasn't showing up to put him away for life. This is the question I'm going to keep asking every time somebody come up with something like this. If Diddy had a network so robust that led all the way down through Hollywood and people knew about it, why was the prosecution not interested in presenting that? Let's hear.
Y'all remember when Diddy appeared on the Ellen show and casually threatened her and Twitch with the tapes in front of an audience?
Yo, Ellen, we go so far back. You don't tell these people how far back we go.
I know, but I wear t-shirts. I don't know what that means. Anyway, all right, let's.
I mean,
you hold that.
Okay.
All right.
I could do a take two if the joke didn't work.
No, it's okay.
I don't want no problem.
No, it's okay.
No, hold on.
Now, you remember what people were saying at this time? Was the tapes with all kids and stuff on it? Where were those tapes? Oh, that's right. When the feds raided his apartment, raided his house, and they say they found tapes, you never heard about them except that there being pornography on them with him doing stuff with men and women. That's it. Nothing about kids. But if there really was a connection, why wasn't there brought Ellen into the fray? Now, I don't think Ellen's clean, but I think that's a whole different kettle of fish that's separate from Diddy. That's just me, though.
Hey, so
it's like they got a thrill out of joking about it right in front of everyone, and people didn't get it. Well, the creepy relationship between Ellen DeGeneres and Diddy is under fresh scrutiny as new speculative questions arise surrounding the death of Twitch. And allegedly, based on what reports are saying, he possibly found out some things he was never supposed to find out.
Reports? What reports? What reports do you have that could link Diddy to the death of Twitch? I'm curious. This one should be good.
About that particular relationship and a network of some pretty nasty stuff.
Buddy, I invite you to all my parties. You just haven't seemed to show up.
No, well, is it on the East Coast?
Yes.
Well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's that? Now, what time would your party start, let's say?
Like 9:30.
Really? That early?
Yeah.
I could make that.
Yeah.
But I could think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like, what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party.
So what exactly are we talking about here? And
I don't know. Adults doing adult stuff, that's disgusting. I mean, if you're going to go based on what the prosecution brought forward, I mean, that's all we can go on, right? Because that was provable. Now, if I were to go based on what the prosecution said they were going to be bringing forward and never did, then anything's possible. Now, here, we've said this before. We believe that somebody did have a hand in the Twitch scenario, but I don't think it was Diddy. I do believe there was tapes of Ellen and many celebrities doing stuff with Diddy. Not involving kids, but a lot of stuff doing with celebrities that they didn't want affiliations with. Because if their names got associated with all the debauchery that Diddy was doing, oh my goodness, can you imagine that? No, nobody wants that.
What does Twitch have to do with any of it? Okay, y'all remember when Ellen was caught up in that Wayfair drama about selling furniture at very high prices, where the cabinets were being sold for up to $10,000, and the names of the cabinets were associated with reported missing persons such as Naraya, Yaritza, Samaya, and Olivia? Well,
okay, why has that never been investigated as much as Diddy's has? Anyway.
The streets are saying that it wasn't just a rumor and that this may actually be the link to Twitch's death. Stay with me. Allegedly, the cabinets were the ones being used for transportation of people and young adults by the likes of Ellen and Diddy.
See? Wow. Mind you, this video is not old. This is only 5 days ago. 5 days ago. What proof do y'all have that this man messed with kids? Now remember, Ellen's name was involved in Wayfair, not Diddy. So now they're branching. And remember, we have more proof that Ellen would have had a hand in kids than we have for Diddy. Way more proof. You want it? Let me show you. Let me break it down for you. We have absolutely zero context in which Diddy messed with kids. The only one you could possibly bring up, only two, would maybe be Usher and Justin Bieber. That'd be the only two you could possibly bring up. Everybody else, speculation. With Ellen, she fashioned her whole background with Epstein's fashion, and we know what Epstein does. She went after the Wayfair issue. So you look at it with that. She talked about with, what's her name? The speed gal, Sandra Bullock, about using certain body parts on kids. Ellen did all that. If you want proof, that's on Ellen's side. Show me on Diddy's. Y'all gonna get in some hot water with this nonsense. Eventually, look, for as broke as y'all might want this man to be, he gonna end up getting rich because of y'all. He gonna get rich because y'all gonna end up saying something too far, and he gonna just sue the whole internet for people that have been saying anywhere it's found, you pay.
For you know what. Like, people were honestly shocked that anyone would buy a hideously ugly old school locker for up to $10,000. But it all made sense after that whole scandal about illegal transports via Wayfair came out. And
yeah, but where's Diddy involved in that? You don't think, remember, RICO, racketeering, all that wouldn't have popped up in there? There would have been no traces of that money in Diddy's hands? Okay.
And Ellen was right in the middle of it. Actually, to a lot of people, it makes sense that Ellen was right in the middle of the Wayfair drama when the company was being accused of acting as a front for illegally transporting humans by selling pricey cabinets named after people. I remember there were even people who said that they were looking for stuff on Wayfair a few years ago, and they remembered seeing a hideously ugly old school locker. But
we covered this. It's on our platform still. And it wasn't just Wayfair.
Didn't pay attention to the name, but they were stunned that anyone would pay $10,000 for such a thing because the price was really outrageous. Then, not too long after that, the whole scandal about illegal transports via Wayfair came out. In fact, shortly after that, a woman came forward and said that she worked at Wayfair at one time, and items at higher prices were only handled by certain people in higher positions.
So where's Diddy in all this? I'm really curious. You mentioned his name. And Ellen's as part of this. Ellen's already been implicated with the Wayfair. Where does Diddy come into this?
At Wayfair. Now, right after Twitch passed, there were reports making rounds that he was planning on exposing Ellen with regards to this scandal and how Diddy was involved as well. And people even said that she allegedly orchestrated his death. And
who said that? Where are you getting any of that from? Where did anybody say that Diddy was involved in Twitch's death? Where? Please tell me where. Y'all only saying that because the Diddy case just got done with. That is crazy.
Made it look like he took his own life. But that's not even the worst part. Rumor has it that Ellen had been frustrating Twitch for a while and left him out to dry when she was accused of allowing an on-set culture of discrimination based on color, fear, and intimidation by several former employees. Do you all remember that time? Well, she strongly denied the allegations and said she didn't know about them.
As you may have heard, this summer there were allegations of a toxic work environment at our show. And then there was an investigation. I learned that things happened here that never should have happened. I take that very seriously, and I want to say I am so sorry to the people who were affected. I know that I'm in a position of privilege and power, and I realize that with that comes responsibility, and I take responsibility for what happens at my show.
Look, I'm still waiting on the speculation that what they're saying is that Diddy and his network were behind Twitch's death. That's the allegation of this video. Okay, so far it's been about Ellen. I want to hear.
This is the Ellen DeGeneres Show. I am Ellen DeGeneres. My name is there. My name is there. My name is on underwear. We have had a lot of conversations over the last few weeks about the show, our workplace, and what we want for the future. We have made the necessary changes, and today we are starting a new chapter.
But based on a report that was done by BuzzFeed, an employee who claimed she was fed up with comments about her race essentially walked off the job. Others said they were also instructed by their direct managers not to speak to Ellen DeGeneres if they saw her around the studio.
All this is fine and dandy. Completely different story. I know you might be trying to paint a background of Ellen, but we know all this. Your title said Diddy was involved in this. You mentioned him in passing with no proof, absolutely no linkage. You put him as a part of the Wayfair trafficking, and now you put him as part of the death of Twitch. Y'all are going to mess around. And you know what? I ain't even going to try to protect y'all no more.
Most of the former employees actually blamed executive producers and other senior managers for the day-to-day toxicity. But one former employee said that ultimately it's Ellen's name on the show, and she really needed to take more responsibility for the workplace environment. In addition, a Black woman who used to work on the show told BuzzFeed News she experienced offensive comments, actions, and microaggressions during her year and a half as an employee.
You know, this term microaggressions is a trigger word for me. It upsets me because, and I can brand anything a microaggression because it's small. But again, the amount of fleshing out they're doing on topics that have nothing to do with the brand that they mention as their title is where the concern for us comes in.
She said that when she was hired, a senior level producer told her and another Black employee, "Oh, wow, you both have box braids. I hope we don't get you confused." And at a work party, she said one of the main writers told her, "I'm sorry, I only know the names of the white people who work here." Now imagine how complicated it must have been for Twitch, a Black executive producer.
So hold on. It's alleged, so it obviously must be bad for Twitch in the same arena. I can't say that. I don't know if the allegations are true. I can go based on what we know about Ellen and the history she has with her then alleged spouse and how that fell apart. I can go based on that because that's provable. As for the Twitch, I don't know. I can also go based on the conversations that Twitch himself has had on his own platform about Ellen. But none of that had to do with race. Could Ellen have had a hand in Twitch death? Most likely, yeah, it could have had a hand in it. Did she? Possibly. Can't say no. Because we know what Ellen's history is. We know her affiliations. Big difference with one who has been to court with allegations of what you're talking about and it was not proven. Don't mention the man's name if he's the one involved in this. Make your investigation about Ellen. That's unproven yet, so it can be speculative either direction. But one of them has been to prison. One of them has been to court. One of them has been brought charges against, and none of those charges that were so hyped up in the media has been proven.
Child, as if that was not devastating enough, one former employee said that after working on the Ellen DeGeneres show for nearly a year, they took medical leave for 1 month to check into a mental health facility for attempting to take their life. And the week they returned to work, they were told that they were fired. The former employee also said, and I quote, "Some of the producers talk openly in public about addiction and mental health awareness, but they're the reason there's a stigma. They definitely don't practice what they preach with the be kind mantra," end quote. You see, at the time, Twitch was also getting a lot of backlash for supporting Ellen, with some people even questioning if he was part of the mistreatment, since he was also an executive at the show.
So make up your mind. Look, make up your mind. Was Twitch the victim or was he an accomplice? You see how when y'all try to make things work too much in a robust fashion, you lie about everything? First, Diddy's involved. Diddy's the one behind it. Wait a minute, Twitch was actually on board with it, and he's the one that might have been actually a hand because he was an executor in all of this, and it might not have been Ellen, so Ellen may not have been responsible for his death, but she was responsible for his death because she knew Diddy, and Diddy would have been make up your mind.
That I cannot say for certain, but what I can tell you is that he was definitely under a lot of pressure. In fact,
wait, you can say everything else for certain, but not that. So you should pick, man, wow.
Todrick Hall, a friend of Twitch, shared that Twitch was under immense pressure because of the scandal on the Ellen DeGeneres show.
When he was on Ellen and Ellen was being canceled, people were looking at him saying, why are you supporting this woman? And I think that is just a lot of pressure. Human beings are not designed to handle that much pressure.
Says who? Says who? Bro, look, speak for yourself, man. If you weak, that's on you. Don't put that on everybody else. Have you not seen history? Did you not know there was a thing called World War? Did you not know that some of the people that went through some really crazy... You're talking about back road drama at a workplace where you're making millions a year. What stress? Okay, give me that stress. I will take the stress of having to decide whether or not I keep $1 million or $1.5 million. Give me that stress. I'll take that stress.
And when I was talking about my experience, his face was like, I know. And he was just like, it's a lot. It's a lot.
But guess what? Ellen didn't do much to help Twitch. And based on what I've heard, she even used that scandal to frustrate him and put a toll on him. And when he couldn't take it any longer, he ended it. Remember?
So, okay, he ended... First, you tell me that he was killed by Diddy and his underground network, but now he took it.
Remember, it was already reported that Twitch left a note behind, and although investigators who found the note did not specify exactly what it said, the LAPD confirmed he cited past challenges he was still struggling with. Well, according to Todrick, those past challenges had a lot to do with the toxic work environment at Ellen's show.
And you know that how? You know what I could easier see? Past challenges of trying to cope with what sexuality he was. That's what I think it would have been. He's coping with anything.
But here's where it gets even more interesting. It allegedly also had a lot to do with her relationship with Diddy, because it's somehow all related. I mean,
it's somehow all related. I don't know how, but it is. And don't you tell me it's not. Sound like Kenneth Copeland out there. I don't know how it's related. I just know it is. How? Trust me, bro. It is. And in fact, it's so related, Diddy had a hand in it.
And anyone who watched the Ellen show knows that over the years, Diddy was a regular on the show. And with the allegations behind his parties making rounds, fans were looking back at some of his older interviews with Ellen. And one of the old interviews that caught the attention of many was when Diddy was asking Ellen why she never attended his parties.
Now, what time would your party start, let's say?
Like 9:30.
Really? That early?
Yeah.
I could make that.
So hold on. If he was in cohorts with her, wouldn't you think that she'd be at a party or two? So now you're all saying that she wasn't at the party? Well, which man, look, I wish when y'all lied, y'all would just be direct about being... figure out what you want to say about these people. Figure it out. Because you're confusing the mess out of me. Did Diddy have a hand in Twitch's death? Yes or no? If so, how?
But I think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like, what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party, though.
Uh-huh.
No, it'll go from like 9:30 to like maybe 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then, you know, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel.
Mm-hmm. And then it will carry on there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then no, I mean the after party.
Mm-hmm. No, I know about them.
One thing you should take away from the conversation was that Ellen was invited to all the parties. All of them.
How do you know that? How come y'all have more info than the prosecution ever did? Y'all should have, you know what? Y'all should have, all your social media people should have been the one in the prosecutorial spot to bring charges against Diddy. Next time on Super Friends, y'all need to have your own team and you guys be the prosecution. In fact, what you should do is have a whole new lawsuit filed against Diddy over all the allegations you say you have and proof you say you have, and take him to court. Do it. Y'all seem to have all the info. You said she was invited to every party? Wow.
But the only reason she never went to the parties was because they were too far.
I want y'all to make this make sense. Ellen has money. You think any party is too far? Really? A party is too far away? What would make it too far away? She can't get there because it's too expensive. She can't get there because it's not the right time. That's broke man stuff. I don't think it was a matter of can't go there.
Not because she found them questionable. And when Diddy said that the parties that start after midnight are a different kind of party, Ellen knew exactly what he was talking about.
Exactly. So how do you know she wasn't there? Look. Anyway.
Now, allegedly, their relationship goes even deeper than the parties. And
oh, so you don't know that he had a hand in Twitch's death. You're just saying that because it's allegedly. Okay, good.
I have seen claims suggesting that Ellen may have been involved in whatever Diddy was being charged with in court.
Ah!
And considering she was right in the middle of that Wayfair scandal, honey, it's not far-fetched. But all these are just allegations for now. But if you want to know who was being accused of helping take out Twitch, yep, you probably guessed it, his ex-wife, Allison Holker, allegedly. Y'all know that Allison had been slammed a few times for not just disrespecting Twitch and his family with the oversharing after Twitch died, but acting shady and knowing exactly what was up. In fact, one family member, Darielle, a cousin of Twitch, even spilled that Allison required the family to sign non-disclosure agreements to attend his funeral.
So why aren't you linking her more than you link Diddy? This seems to be a closer hit to me than Diddy would ever be. What would Diddy's hand be in? And I remember, Ellen never went to the parties, you said. So if she never went to the parties, what investment would Diddy have to help her out by putting an end to Twitch? But you also said that Twitch just went ahead and did it himself. So which one is it? Did Diddy could help to the toxic work environment? No, that was all Ellen. This man can't win for nothing, bro.
And after saying that she doesn't care about the NDA, Darielle wrote, "This crazy woman made me and his actual family sign an NDA just to even attend the funeral. She's been trying to tarnish his legacy and refuses to let the Boss family see the children, only to exploit and lie on my cousin. Hell no." Darielle also wrote that contrary to what Allison was trying to imply, Twitch wasn't an addict. He smoked weed and was actively trying to quit, but he wasn't some junkie.
Okay.
In addition, Twitch's brother Dre claimed that since his brother passed, his side of the family has been denied access to the children.
So let me again. Is it her kids? Her kids? Okay. Hers though. Okay. Can I ask people out there what obligation outside of it'd be nice does she have to give anyone access to her kids? What again, what obligation does she have to give anyone access to her kids? Anyone? Okay.
He actually took to Instagram to say that his mother and grandparents were trying to process Twitch's death, but that they had been disrespected and alienated from family affairs. Then, without explicitly naming their mother, Dre said his late brother's 3 children had had noticeably limited interactions with their grandmother and the wider family. According to what he said, the reason why Allison was not letting him see the children was because the family did not agree with some original terms of the NDA she presented the family to sign.
Again, please answer the questions. If anyone has out there, what obligation does she have to have them see the kids? Have to.
Then there were other things, like when Allison noticed that Twitch was not at home the day he took his life. Instead of calling the police, she went to them, like she already knew something bad had happened.
I'm done.
In addition, there are interviews she did months later, which a lot of people found emotionless and said that she overshared. Actually, in one of the interviews she did, Allison said that she was with one of her really dear friends and they were cleaning out the closet and picking out an outfit for Twitch for the funeral when she uncovered a cornucopia of substances, including mushrooms, pills, and other substances that she had to look up on her phone hidden inside Twitch's shoeboxes.
Why couldn't that be true? Remember, he hooked up with Ellen, right? He was dealing with Ellen. He was part of the entertainment industry. Why wouldn't it be true? I'm not saying it is, but why could it be far-fetched? Why is that far-fetched? Okay, so she planted it there too. Then why not investigate her more than Diddy? You see our problem here? There's not an equal spread of blame here.
Based on what she said, she believed she and Twitch had very honest communication, including about his marijuana use. In fact, she said that at night, after their kids went to bed, he would quietly slip into their guest house to smoke or drink. She said that was his alone time and his time to recharge, and that was okay. But she never expected to find the things she found in his shoeboxes.
Okay.
She also said that in the days leading to his death, Twitch was acting withdrawn, showering less frequently, and smoking morning and night, and told her that he was going through a low period, but he was very careful about this wording. Allison also said that she combed through his journals, hoping to find clarity and closure after his death, and she learned that her husband had hidden painful secrets from even those closest to him. In her words, he was wrestling with a lot inside himself, and he was trying to self-medicate and cope with all those feelings because he didn't want to put it on anyone, because he loved everyone so much. He didn't want other people to take on his pain.
Where is Diddy's role?
She also said that Twitch alluded to being essayed by a male figure during his childhood in several of his journal entries.
Oh, so I was right that he was struggling possibly with his sexuality. Maybe nothing to do with Ellen at all, or to do with Diddy. Or maybe he confided in Ellen that he was fighting with this. Okay.
And that may have affected him till the day he died. Basically, it's people saying that she had been acting really fishy since Twitch died, but whether or not she had a hand in his death or whether she collaborated with Diddy and Ellen, I don't know.
Your title. What Twitch found before his death, Diddy's secret network exposed. You insinuated at the very beginning that Diddy and Ellen were responsible for Twitch's death. That's what you led with. Now you say you don't know. I don't know. Y'all are quick to throw this dude square into murder cases now. Y'all remember that $1 million thing too? With him and Tupac? That got thrown out too. That didn't happen either. Like I said, there's tons of stuff you could probably bring up against Diddy that would be absolutely provable. But when y'all do too much, you make everything go away. AI is getting out of hand, bro. And I seriously hope, I really do hope that Diddy, when he does get free enough to talk to his lawyers, that he says to them, and I quote, any one of them out there that talked about me with kids, find them, sue them. Anybody on the internet that was talking about me with children, find them, sue them. I hope he does that to every platform that did that. Especially if it's, and look, with kids, yeah, I hope he does. I hope he does. Shuts all of y'all down for them kind of lies. That's ridiculous. That's a whole different portion of lies you can tell on somebody. Say the man gay. That's what you could say because there's proof of that. Say he was a perv. You can say that. That's provable too. Kids? And then you talk about his kids. Now, y'all deserve every bit of a lawsuit that he could bring to y'all. And I hope he do it. I hope he do it. And he gonna win too. I hope he do it and win. Clear up the field a little bit. Put y'all on some, check y'all a little bit. Anyway. Y'all might think this has merit. Somehow you might think that Diddy had a hand in Twitch's death. If you do, let me know. And if you do know about that, tell us what you know. If you have a version of somewhere out there that Twitch had some affiliation with Diddy, and that was the whole reason that he got ended, and not Ellen, just let us know that too. Because at this point, that whole video was so convoluted and crazy that nothing made sense, and you only talked about Diddy like 3 times, but you want to put him at the helm of pointless, at least to us. But you can probably help us out. We don't catch everything the first time. Look forward to hearing your points of views on this one.